So tell us more specifically about the findings in the UK Advocacy survey.
Let me just tell you a little bit about advocacy and where I'm coming from. Having been doing this for the last quarter of a century, we started off with employee satisfaction surveys. Were you satisfied? And I like my boss, I like my job, I might have a best friend at work, and we came up with satisfaction ratings. And I watched satisfaction surveys coming up with the answer 5.7 out of 10, and almost didn't matter what the question was. The answer was always hovering around that, and over the years employee satisfaction went up and down over those. And then we moved in the last decade to employee engagement, and suddenly we now need different drivers. We need engaged employees, not just satisfied. So what do they need to be engaged about? And we found all sorts of different ways of doing that, measuring it, and different drivers, different organizations coming out with different ways. A really simple way from a marketing perspective and a brand perspective is to say to somebody, how strongly do you feel about the way you talk to your colleagues, you talk to your family, you talk to your friends about the organization. So we asked 4 simple questions. I strongly agree that I talk positively about my customers, products and services. I strongly agree that I talk positively about the communities and the things we do in the communities. I talk strongly about it's a great place to work, and I talk strongly about how we work with, as an organisation, with our partners, our suppliers, in the press and all the rest of it. That was the UKAR. So rather than am I happy, am I engaged, actually am I out there as an advocate, what some people would call a brand champion. What we found was the UK slide, the slide in advocacy starts off relatively high. We're talking about customers. You then move on to communities, and then you move on to suppliers. And the slide is just so obvious. And yet it's really clear from a best practice like Marks and Spencer's, who cover all of those areas, that advocacy and engagement comes when an organisation is doing great things externally, it's doing great things with its products and services, it's doing great things with its colleagues internally as a place to work. And it's doing great things in collaboration with other organisations, its suppliers and its value chain. And so what came across to me was that the communication just isn't happening in those other areas, apart from organisations saying, this is our customers, they're most important, this is what we do. So the UK advocacy rating allows us to really look as a whole at an organisation and say, these are the areas where we need to do better on our internal marketing, our internal communication, our internal branding, and that'll reflect outwards on our external marketing, our external branding, and our external customer service.